And what's so neat about this technique, which is George Duisman's CTT, Consciousness Transformation Technique, is that it's a little bit different than EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique. And what I love, it's a combination, to me, I see it as a little bit of QHHT and EFT. It's like a combination because it takes people to past lives. If that's what needs to be seen, or a metaphor, or a scene, or what have you. So
okay,
the higher self is leading the way, and both of our higher selves are working together.
mm-hmm.
And they have been when we decided to do a session, a CTT session. So that's so neat. And since we met, how long has it been? 2 months?
I think, yeah, it probably feels like a year because of everything that's been going on, but I think a month and a half or 2 months. Yeah.
I think so. But yeah, we were just, it was just a reunion.
It was.
Way back. It's so much fun. Oh my goodness. So what we're going to do, this is your first one doing a CTT session, right?
Well, I went along with the one that you had on YouTube that you had posted. I actually did it with you all, even though it was probably, a year or two after. I don't even know when it was posted. But I so resonated with it. Yeah, it's the first live one.
Did you experience anything while you were tapping along?
Yes, and I journaled it, and I would have to go back and look at my notes, but I did feel an experience and a shift. That's all I can remember right now. I'd have to go back and look at my notes to see specifically what. Yeah.
That's what we've been experiencing, and people, healers especially, have been drawn to tap along on these YouTube videos of the CTT sessions, the group sessions especially, and they are receiving major healing or major downloads, activations from that on so many levels. That happens with a lot of the healing work that gets posted on YouTube.
Yeah.
So people resonate with it. Those that resonate with it and watch it, they receive so much on so many levels. And it's just a beautiful thing. Thank heavens we have the internet during this time of awakening, right?
Exactly.
I just love it. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to read George's script to help you tap into whatever your higher self wants to show you, and just allow a clue to come through, just whatever you see or sense. If you are more clairsentient like I am, and that is a knowing that comes through, or it could come through color or words or even a little voice. So, and when you, we're going to tap along the right and left side of the body, 1 to 10 taps on either side. It doesn't matter how many, and it doesn't have to be even. And this is releasing from within the density or whatever needs healing. And we're working with ourselves and the collective on this.
Yes.
So yeah, be patient with yourself and kind with yourself through the process, and let's just do some exploring.
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good, baby?
Yep. I have a quick question that came up when I watched the other ones.
Yes.
Does it matter which arm is over?
No, it doesn't.
On top. Okay.
It doesn't. And just whatever you're drawn to do tapping wise.
Okay.
You are perfectly guided.
Perfect.
Through the process. Okay. Interrupt me when you connect clearly with an event. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. And release. And relax. Use your intention to open up the connection with your God mind, so you get the clues, information, and love that you need. Ask your God mind to allow the guidance from within. In a little while, I'm going to ask you a question. The answer that you get could be subtle and may not make any sense, but trust it. Grab whatever comes. Don't judge it. Don't change it. Just allow it. It could be as simple as a word, color, sound, or feeling. Past lives or other memories often come first via feelings. Take another deep breath. Relax some more. What is the first clue?
Color blue and almost a turquoise, and it's a deep hue.
All right. Sit with that for a moment, and it will lead you to your next clue. Just allow whatever comes to flow and trust it.
It's swirling, and I want to say it's like water, but it's denser. It has more mass to it, like thicker. It's not paint. It's a very deeply tinted substance that's thicker than water, and it's swirling, and it's beautiful. There's different shades of the blue and the deep teal all swirling around.
It's beautiful. Sit with that beauty. Let it wash over you.
And it seems to be in a container of sorts, so it's not flowing freely. It's in a container, like a square or a boxed in. It's a rectangle or a square.
Would you like to explore that container?
I feel like I want it to come out of the container.
See how you can do that.
Okay. I just broke the container because pouring it out wasn't working.
How did you break it?
I just sort of tapped it on the ground or on the surface, and it just like shattered. I think it was made out of glass.
I have goosebumps everywhere.
Oh, good.
Now you have this broken glass on the ground. You're going to be able to speak to it. And you can ask it why it was trying to hold those colors inside. You can speak to it. It has consciousness.
It already gave me an answer.
Okay.
It was waiting for me to shatter it, to break it open and let it loose. It was a timing thing. Like it was just waiting for me to be there to break it out of its container, to break the colors out of the container. In other words, the container was saying I had to be there, I guess, when I was ready. So it was a timing thing to come in and just tap it and just, okay, it's done.
Beautiful. That's very powerful. Does that have anything to do with humanity?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. This flowing blue, vibrant, deep color, set of colors is just, it's now free to just permeate everything.
I love this.
And as soon as I said that, it's like it's now healing. It's a healing element. I don't even want to call this water. It's like it's a water-like substance, but it's so thick and so rich. I'll come up with an analogy here at some point, but it's just this thick, beautiful. There's a density and like a slight translucent and even an opaque element to this liquid. So it's definitely not thin like water. But yeah, what's coming up now is there's just healing in it. It's free now to go out and permeate everything. Humanity, the universe, the whole bit.
That's very powerful. So was it a timing thing with this healing element of color?
It's funny with the color. It's like this color element was there, almost suspended eternally, and there was no time. There's no time associated with it. It's like the part of this whole scenario that has to do with timing was the glass container. The element of the liquid inside of it is just eternal, and there's no time associated with it.
So it was more the container. So is the container the lower densities of humanity in some way?
Logically, it would seem that way, but because it was such a light, fragile glass box, it didn't appear to be that way. So that's showing me that it's an illusion of sorts. It was a lot different than what it appeared to be visually. And all along, I don't think I mentioned this, there was like a gold rim around the edge of this square box. And it wasn't a cube. It was like a square glass tray. Like the bottom of it is glass. The four sides of it, and it is definitely was a rectangle. The four sides of it were glass, but the rim around the top was gold. And I don't think I mentioned that before. But yeah, the whole thing is shattered now. It didn't appear to be as a solid of a container as it, well, that didn't make sense. It was very fragile, but yet it was enough to contain this liquid. It broke easily, but yet it was strong enough to be there for all this time. And it feels like it's been holding it for a long time.
What happened to the gold part of the glass?
It's sort of stuck to the glass in pieces now that it's shattered. It's still, it's like it was a gold, like when you have a veneer on something and it sticks to it, or like it was painted on it, like it was actually gold, but or like when you see some glassware that has gold embedded in it, when, like, if it were to break, it would be still attached to those pieces that broke.
Wonderful. Now, what is happening to the color now?
It's just sort of been, ever since the container broke, it's just sort of been floating everywhere. It's permeating everything. It's like it's been let loose. It's been freed to just go do its thing, and it's just sort of like everywhere. And it's nowhere specifically where I can say it's in relation to this or that. It's just there. It's just out there.
Will you be able to speak to it and see if this is happening in real time for humanity?
I already know that it is. I just feel it.
Yes.
Yeah. I know it. Yeah.
Does it have anything to do with this 4/4 portal this weekend?
I feel like asking it is almost pointless, because I feel like everything that we are experiencing and that we've been experiencing has been so connected to all the timing of all these things that are happening literally every day and multiple times a day now, that it's just like, well, yeah, it's all part of the whole thing. Wow. It's almost like I don't need to ask. It's just like, oh yeah, it's like, hey, now's the time for everything. It's all happening.
Yes.
It's funny. I'm sort of exploring this liquid. It's like, does it have an aroma, a taste? It doesn't seem to. It's just this color, these sets of colors that are all swirling together. And it's funny because when I had this breaking of these energetic ties the other night, I visualized my soul, and this is sort of odd. It wasn't free floating in just anywhere kind of space, and having this aura around it that was cleared. It was floating over an intersection that's literally a few houses up from me out on the street.
Your
Which
soul.
I thought, yeah, which I thought was so odd, but it was like in a different time and space. It was like during the day. It was facing north. It was, I mean, it was just, that's where I saw my soul. It was like, it was just sort of hovering over this intersection on the street.
That is fascinating.
And where this liquid in the container was that I tapped onto the ground, and where it shattered was pretty much that same center intersection. It's maybe a little bit to the west of it by a few feet, but it was literally at that intersection.
That is so fascinating.
Yeah, it's odd. And it's like it's a small, it's not an intersection with like a big bunch of traffic and signal lights or anything. It's a very small, it's a street that has a little two sides stop sign, and then a small one-way street goes through it to the east. So the street with the two, what do you call it? Stop signs, that runs north and south. And then the smaller street that runs east, it has the stop on the one side because it's a one-way street and it's going east.
Now, what does that intersection represent? Can you tune into that and see what it represents?
Not a lot of anything. I walk on it a lot. I mean, not the intersection. I mean, I walk up and down the streets, and I walk, the whole neighborhood. It's funny because there is a tree there that when I sort of envisioned my soul there the other night, it was in that top, let me see, the northeast corner of that intersection, sort of hovering around this tree. And the tree doesn't mean anything to me. It's just that I'm aware there's a big tree there. And it's, I think, next to somebody's house.
Does it represent humanity and the earth?
This is sort of hard to explain. When I felt my soul and saw my soul hovering there, and I'm talking hovering like 4 or 5 feet off the ground, I felt the connection to absolutely everything in the universe, and that includes humanity. Everybody on this globe, every energetic being, entity, whatever, as far as, beings possibly from other solar systems, everything. I felt that connection. But as far as that tree representing anything, was that what the question was?
No, the intersection itself.
The intersection. No. But it was the feeling I had when I was there, hovering.
Mm-hmm, that it was everything.
Yeah, just all living beings, whatever they are. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that would include humanity, yeah.
And now the color is swirling over it?
The color isn't really swirling over it. When the container broke and the color was let loose, it's almost like it absorbed into everything. It permeated everything to where the color is there, and if I focus on it, I can see it, and it's still swirling in this dense liquid. But it's almost like it's gone and done its thing. It's already permeated into everything that it was like it just went, it was free. It went out and did its thing. And it's like it's not even there visually in front of me anymore. It's like I'm aware of it, but it's off doing its thing.
That's wonderful.
Wow.
I'm sure it's affecting everything it's touching.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wow. I got a physical ripple. I didn't even know what, it's just, I got a ripple.
You felt a sensation from it?
Oh yeah, a physical, yeah, yeah.
Yes, powerful. Is it the wave that people have been talking about?
No, it's not that intense.
Okay.
It's almost like it's on a certain plane. It's on a plane or a surface, even though it's not flat, it's three-dimensional. But if you were to look at it and say, okay, maybe it's maybe 3 inches thick, maybe, because it's a swirling mass of liquid, like if you were to pour some kind of liquid onto the surface of something and roll it around, you know, you might have, I don't know, the number 3 to 4 comes up, like 3 to 4 inches, even though it seems like it could only be an inch thick. But it's, I'm losing track of what was the question again?
Who is able to feel that?
Okay. I don't know if anybody's feeling it at the moment, but it's like it's doing what it's supposed to be doing right now. It's beneficial. It's going out and doing what it needs to do. I'm not sure. Maybe that's where the portal comes in, that people will not start feeling it, or it will not actually activate into an energetic action until 4/4, possibly.
I'm going to let you explore it and let the clues just come out of you.
Okay.
If there's any more information that needs to come out of it.
Yeah, the fact that it seems like, you know, it's like viscous. It's thick enough to be like this certain height that I've been mentioning. Like it's a certain, like maybe 3 to 4 inches thick. I'm just noticing this quality, and the tray that it was in. I have a personal set of experiences with these rectangular, what I've been calling sheets or pages. Usually they're white. I've had some theories on what they represent. They've been in my dreams. They've been in visions. They've been in, like, when I do meditation, sometimes they pop up in my mind's eye. When I saw the glass container, because it was this rectangle and it was so shallow, it immediately, I knew it was connected to these pages or these sheets, even though it wasn't white. It was this clear glass. So I'm connecting it to all of that. And I've been visually seeing those, like I said, in my dreams and different, like in my mind's eye and different things. I don't even know how far back it goes, a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years, maybe longer.
Were you able to understand what those sheets were?
For me, they're directly tied into the Akashic records. And I don't yet know how, other than I've been seeing them, and I feel like they're being shown to me, especially in dreams. I've journaled them, so I will be able to go back at some point and revisit those and see what context they were in with dreams, and maybe get a better picture of it at another time. But for now, I've just sort of been, all this time, I've been receiving those images and just noting how they're showing up, what they look like, what the configuration is, what, you know, what context they are, like in a dream or something.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
So yeah, I think it's mainly just collecting the information now,
Yes.
sort of like for a science experiment.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful. So it was similar to this container.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was like this container is part of those sheets. It was like I recognized it as being connected to them, as if it's one of them, but it was just in a visually different form. Instead of being a white sheet or a white rectangle or even a white rectangle tray, it was this glass tray, and it had this, and it was clear, and it had this gold rim around the top edges. And it was a very fragile glass. It was almost, Almost like in the movies where they have the props and you have the really fragile glass that's made out of spun sugar that people use to break in movies.
Yeah.
It's that type of prop material, very thin. And I want to say there's some slight maybe bubbles in it. Like when it was formed, it had little bubbles in it, but that's just something on the texture that I noticed.
Interesting.
But it was very clear glass for this container. Yeah, and this color, this liquid material is just pretty much, it's there. It's like it's everywhere now, but it's already gone and done its thing. So I'm not really even seeing it. I'm aware of it. I guess I'm aware of its energy, and because I'm aware of its energy, I can see it swirling. I can see it moving around, and it's a slow swirl. It's not a huge, fast swirl. It's a very slow, beautiful, mellow swirl. Sort of in line with how thick it is. It's like it's not in any big hurry like a rushing river. It's this slow, thicker, mellow, gentle, swirling speed or movement. And then I mean, I can focus on it and go, okay, yeah, think about the blue swirling liquid, and then it immediately is in my mind's eye. But it's like it was long gone. Once it was let loose, it's like it just permeated into everything, and it's everywhere. In fact, when it first started permeating, when the glass container shattered, I saw it go into the asphalt. That was the first place and this is the asphalt in the intersection. It permeated there first, but as it was permeating down into the earth, it was permeating out at the same time, and not just out in all directions, but also above the asphalt. Like it doesn't have a limit based on air or solid matter. It's just like it's through everything, which makes sense because everything is just empty space in between all of what we see as solid. So that, yeah, it just went through everything.
I'll let more clues come from you as you feel them.
This isn't as much clues as much as more details that I didn't mention earlier. When I did see it originally go into the asphalt, I was seeing the yellow paint strip on the asphalt, just a piece of it. And that doesn't have any significance for me. And when I'm actually thinking about this intersection out there on the road, I don't think it has yellow paint. I think it has white. For where the markings are on the road. So I feel like I need to go out there and go look. But there in my mind's eye, when this was all occurring, it was permeating into the black asphalt, but there was like this little bit of yellow marking, paint marking that was there, unless that was just to let me know, yes, that was asphalt. But yeah, I don't think there's yellow paint there.
So maybe it's significant of something, not the exact intersection.
Yeah. And it's not like it's this beautiful color of yellow. It's your typical yellow that's painted on roads that I personally don't find, thrilling. And it looked like I could actually see the paint on it. Like it wasn't just the yellow color. It was looking at the texture of the glossy paint that was painted on the texture of the very like nubby kind of asphalt. You know how asphalt's bumpy. Yeah. Unless that represents our, what's the word I'm looking for? As a society, we go in and change things. Like we'll paint something, we'll cover it up with paint. Even though asphalt is not a natural, it's not like this was on dirt, which would be representative of the earth. This was actually on asphalt, unless maybe this has to do with layers, because the paint could represent a layer that we as society have put on something that was there for many years, that was a layer of represented by asphalt that may have been there for a while, but underneath that asphalt is soil, is real earth, Mother Earth at the bottom of all that. I don't know, maybe it represents layers.
Let's look at that asphalt closely now. See if you can communicate with it. Just allow whatever information comes through to you from this asphalt. See if you can speak with it.
I'm feeling that it's telling me, just, I'm having a hard time verbalizing this, that sort of the phrase being trodden on, and that's such a bizarre phrase, but it's like we have been using it as a surface to trod on. You know, not just to walk and drive on, but it's almost like maybe there's more to that word. And yet that's from the asphalt. That's not from the ground underneath. So why that would be coming from the asphalt to me is a little strange.
Has the asphalt been affected by this energy, the swirling, colorful energy?
That was the first thing it permeated into. Oh, I see what you're asking. Did
it feel a shift or anything from that?
I don't think so. That's weird. That's funny you mentioned that. I don't think it did. Maybe the asphalt was the conduit for it to spread everywhere else, because when you look at our globe, all the roads are connected. This is like a web of its own, a grid of its own where everything is connecting. Maybe that's the conduit.
Beautiful.
And because the asphalt is not what we would traditionally see as a living being, it's just saying, hey, like I'm allowing this to spread out from me, meaning the asphalt is saying this.
It's helping.
Yeah, it's saying I'm offering up my services.
It's a network.
Yes, exactly. Wow. Okay.
What are you sensing?
Well, I just realized I'm swaying front and back, which means that's an affirmative for my body. Secondly, a lot of other soul confirmations from my soul to me have confirmed that what I'm meant to be doing personally is connected to other people all around the world, which I've known, but I feel like it's a web or a grid. I think what I'm trying to say is that this series of interconnecting roads and strips of asphalt literally all over the world is the, I don't know if I want to say it's the path, but it is the conduit to connecting all of this and everybody. And that makes sense because we met when we had all driven to a location where we met.
Yes.
It wasn't like anybody flew. It wasn't, I mean, we had driven to Borrego Springs.
Yes.
Your bike is yellow.
My bike is yellow.
I think I just connected the color.
Yes.
Whoa. It's that same color.
Yes.
That's the color.
I'm also sensing that this is man-made and that the technology that humanity has created is connecting all of us at this time to spread this healing energy.
Yeah.
And this love.
Yeah.
And that's even what the virus is.
Man-made, you mean?
Yes, and that it's connecting all of us. So
yes,
it's not to be seen as something bad or good. It is, and it's at this time for a reason. It is connecting the people. It is bringing out the love in the people. And it is raising humanity to the next level. even though it may look destructive on the outside at first. But
yeah, exactly. Yes. And I've been feeling that all along. And the blue, just this blue liquid, is not even anything that I would attribute to, you know, the sky or the water or the oceans. It's just this other substance. It's just cool on its own.
are you sensing anything that needs to be released in connection with this, to allow this healing and love energy to permeate in a more profound and better way? Is there anything that we need to release for it to speed up or ramp up or do a better job connecting the people?
Okay. I'm feeling that the substance itself, when it was released, was the main element. And as far as what we as humanity needs to release, I want to say our emotional patterns, our emotional habits that we've locked into. But I'm wondering if that is based on my own personal situation right now that I'm struggling with. I want to say struggling. Maybe it's just that I'm working with, because I'm working through it. So that may be more personal for me, but
Well,
go ahead.
Let's tap into your higher self and see what clue comes through for that answer.
Okay. Are we both still tapping our shoulders, or?
You know, we'll stop right now, and
good, because I'm getting tired.
Yeah, when we start to release, we'll tap for the release.
Okay, good. Okay.
See what your higher self shows you.
It was almost immediate. It's not just me, it's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like that was an obvious. Yeah, because I am not only reflecting what everybody else is going through with the emotional patterns and habits and things. The emotional control, I guess, is one aspect. Whatever comes up with all of our emotions. So that includes habits, patterns, control situations, addictions to emotions.
Belief systems, old programming?
Belief systems, yeah, just our whole emotional state and everything that we wrap around it, through it, in it, just everything about it. It feels like I'm not only reflecting that, but yes, it's personal for me, but it's also reflecting what literally everybody else is dealing with. So yes. And I see, when I talk about my emotions, I'm seeing this vibrant red, but it has these deeper, darker, denser layers of red around it on the outer edges. Mm. And I immediately see this blue fluid, this substance coming in to soothe the agitation of those agitating layers of the red colors, meaning there's nothing negative about any of the reds, but there's certain denser, more agitated colors in those reds that this blue is coming in, and when I say blue, it's all these colors of blues together, is coming in and soothing that agitation that might be there.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. It's like it's pouring over it, and it's just like, it's like the emotional state. I see the emotional state as if it's this almost, okay, a heart shape. I'm thinking of that emoji I use all the time when I'm texting, the one that has the different layers of the red in it. And it's like it's just sort of pouring over that shape, and the shape is sighing and going, ah. That's visually exactly what I see.
Do the red colors change once the blues?
No, they actually don't change. They sigh, and they like release that agitation part. It's like the colors are still very vibrant, and in the different tones of the colors, they're still very much the same tint and tone of color, but they're more relaxed, like they've sighed and relaxed and went, oh, like I needed that.
That's beautiful.
Wow. And now my whole body's vibrating.
Okay,
Pulsing.
See if this resonates with you. I'm feeling the red as the root chakra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah, so humanity's in survival mode in the root chakra right now, and that needs the balance of
Yeah.
healing.
Maybe that's what just started pulsing. I'm just like, whew, here we go. That energy burst is starting. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have tingling. Yeah, the energy is powerful, and it's
It
going
is
through
very.
the body.
And this is the blues, if we're talking chakras now, because you may just have hit on that. The blues, we have green is the heart. The throat is a certain shade of blue, like a bright blue, right?
Yeah.
And then the third eye is what color again?
Indigo.
Indigo. What is the crown? White?
Purple.
Violet.
Violet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It feels like if we're looking at colors, all the colors in that blue substance, that liquid substance, are from the heart to the third eye, with maybe a little bit of crown mixed in, because it's just this swirling mass of just gorgeous colors.
My favorites.
Yeah, very, very.
And they're right above you in your room right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And you know what? I'm thinking about what I'm wearing. Sort of, these are part of the colors too.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's funny because ever since the beginning of this that we started, I keep thinking about it's a huge sheet of like 4 by 3 foot marbled paper that I have, and it's something I had framed for a very long time, and it's now in storage, but it was something that my mom had gotten years ago, and I've gotten it now, and it's just this beautiful swirling. It's pretty much visually what I'm seeing, except this marbled paper is not it's not moving, and it has a little bit more sharp black in it than what I'm visually seeing, and it does have gold in it too. That's funny. But that's what I've been sort of in my mind referencing back to the whole time we started doing this, and I started describing the blue swirly. It's like if somebody had put life to that marbled paper, it would be flowing like this. It would be what I'm describing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, it subsided. The energies. So there's a connection to my mom here.
Yes.
Wow. And that came through as a healing. Within the last 2 weeks, I'd have to go back and look at my notes, but that came through as an enormous healing within the last couple of weeks. It was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I think.
With your mother?
With my mom.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. She and I are working together on a whole different level now. It's just, yeah.
Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, healing the ancestral lines and the...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, teamwork.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. So is there anything that needs releasing for the collective?
Our habits and our patterns.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and tap those.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to say the script, and you're already tapping.
Okay. Do I keep my eyes shut?
You can open them, shut them, whatever you feel comfortable with.
Okay.
And just repeat after me.
Okay.
There is a part of me that knows how to.
There is a part of me that knows how to
Release and heal.
Release and heal.
Old patterns.
Old patterns.
Old belief systems.
Old belief systems.
Dense programming.
Dense programming.
Old structures.
Old structures.
Old systems.
Old systems.
What else would you like to add?
Old energies.
Old energies.
We said habits and patterns, right?
Old patriarchy.
Old patriarchy. Old tension.
Old tension.
Old physical tension.
Old physical tension.
Old gripping.
Old gripping. Suppression.
Suppression.
Smallness.
Smallness. Containment.
Containment.
Wow.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um,
Ownership.
Ownership. Detainment.
Detainment.
Encasement.
Encasement.
Incarceration.
Incarceration.
Withholding.
Withholding. Division.
Division. Reservations.
Reservations.
Reserving
Reserving.
of things,
Mhm.
of elements of energy.
Mhm. Hoarding.
Hoarding.
Fear.
Fear. Darkness.
Darkness. Mistrust.
Mistrust.
Lack of faith.
Lack of faith.
Lack consciousness.
Lack consciousness. Embodiment of lack.
Embodiment of lack. Unworthiness.
Unworthiness. Limited thinking.
Limited thinking.
Limited movements.
Limited movements.
Limited energy.
Limited energy.
Limited finances.
Limited finances.
Limited abundance.
Limited abundance.
Limitations of any sort that inhibit growth.
Limitations of any sort that inhibit growth.
And limitations of any sort that inhibit freedom.
And limitations of any sort that inhibit freedom. Control.
Control.
Wow, this stuff.
Big wow.
So much energy is coming through. That dragon breath is so releasing that density. I see golden dragon and violet flame breath.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's gorgeous. Everything is so clear and light in my mind's eye that I'm just floating.
Yes. Yes. And all of that density that we are releasing, it is time to embrace it. Let's embrace it with our arms right now. Gather it and embrace it and transmute it.
Ah, okay.
We love you. We love you. We love you. This is a part of us. This is our shadow. There's nothing to fear. It's nothing to fear. This control, all of that stuff that we just talked about, the density is our shadow. And that is what's playing out on the surface of the world right now. That is what the virus is showing us. It's showing us our shadow.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Love it. Thank that virus. This is an opportunity. It is guiding us.
Yes.
There's nothing to fear. Nothing to fear.
Thanking this shadow, this density, and infusing it with this blue liquid. And it's swirling around it, and it's enveloping it, and it's nurturing it. It's healing it. It's giving it what it needs to transmute.
My crown is tingling.
I'm vibrating all over.
Violet flame is transmuting also, but all those colors, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Okay. I will finish the rest of the script. That part of my being is willing to inform the rest of me now. It is doing so now with unlimited love, grace, and ease. My mind, body, and spirit are receiving the love, healing, information, permission, and deep relief, joy, and love now. Take a deep breath, experiencing the healing and insights. Information transfer is now complete. So be it. It is done.
So be it. It is done.
Oh my gosh, girl. Oh my God. Monumental.
Extremely.
And every color in our frames, including us, is very significant.
Oh, yeah.
In our
Yeah.
video frames. Very
Yeah.
interesting how we were led to the colors today, right?
Oh, yeah. Your pink just popped from the second I saw you, and it's glowing right now.
So are yours.
Wow.
I would like to thank all the beautiful beings who participated in this.
Yes.
We could go on and on with an entire list. Archangel Michael, Raphael, Metatron, Jesus, Yogananda, Saint Germain, Dolores, bless you, angel. Thank you. I love you. Dr. Emoto.
Yes.
We are the quantum water. Tesla, I love you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Who else do you want to bring in?
Oh, everything in the universe.
All of them.
Excuse me.
Mm.
Yes.
Thoth, Isis.
All the starseeds.
All the starseeds and light workers who are working so hard right now. Thank you, angels.
Yes.
This is not an easy time for humanity, and we are being called to action.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for rising to the occasion.
Ah.
You are wearing your super capes now. Well,
Yes.
bless you all.
Yes. Thank you all.
I'm giddy.
I know, me too.
ecstatic.
I'm like, what are we going to do for the rest of the day? I'm like,
Float.
yeah, exactly.
Float.
Oh my gosh.
Angel, thank you so much for this. It was you. It was you and I. You and I were chosen for this.
Yes, exactly.
It was a big one. And this is on the opening of the 4-4 portal.
Yes.
And notice how the mass meditations are forming for that day. I have group meditations on Zoom all day Saturday the 4th, April 4th.
Wow.
So this was the opening of it. And Saturday, April 4th will come and now have expansiveness to really make its mark and open up wide. I feel what Dolores called the separation of the two earths now. So it can be metaphoric. It can be energetic. This is happening. More of us are spending more time in 5D.
Yeah.
And
we're
not helping those in 3D. Bless them all.
Gosh. Wow.
Thank you, Angel, for this huge work.
Thank you, Angel. Oh my gosh. Okay. So as we were ending this, and I didn't tell you this a second ago, I got this amazing aroma actually as we were finishing up there a few minutes ago. And then it shifted and things started smelling like something was burning. And I thought it was maybe literally an energetic release of emotions and energy that was like smelling really bad. It smelled almost like burnt rubber. And when we stopped recording a minute ago and I went, hold on, and I ran in the other room because I had realized we've been doing this for over an hour. I had started some water boiling in a small Briki cup about 10 minutes before we got on this call. So that has been boiling down into absolutely nothing this entire time. And then I start smelling this, and I ran in there and turned it off. And the Bricky is not a typical metal Bricky. It is, and I might be able to pick it up. I want to show it to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
Go ahead. We'll talk about this. And I felt that this absolutely had to happen. And the boiling water, so I connected with Dr. Emoto, who is all about the quantum energy of water. And in its boiling state, which is what humanity, look how beautiful that is.
Yes, it's a gorgeous pot, and I bought it because it was this awesome red. And what were we talking about? The heart shape. This is the shades of red that I was seeing in the layers of my mind's eye.
Completely.
And this thing it's a lot blacker than it was an hour ago. This is not normally this black. The red on the outside, because this thing is hot, the red on the outside of this was about the color of this red before an hour ago when this thing started burning down.
Wow. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I'm hoping
Oh
I can restore some of the color.
Even the black part's beautiful.
Yeah. And boy, is that, you can't see this, but that is some charred interior in there.
So
wow.
I'll let you use the word that you said when we had turned off the recording, the A word, because it's all about that.
Oh, alchemy. This is alchemy. This is alchemy in a physical manifestation of what we just did.
Yes.
Energetically. And wow. And there was no burning, there was no fire in there. Everything was completely safe. I was meant to smell that when I smelled that right after we were done.
Yes.
I'm blown away.
That's the physical manifestation of what we did.
Yes.
And that's the boiling of the water is the chaos that humanity is going through right now. And
yes.
From chaos, this is what Dolores just said in another session, from chaos births creation.
Yes. Yes.
So that is what's happening now. And the chaos is what humanity has to go through. It's what Trump represents, the catalyst that's just tearing everything apart, all the old systems. And then once that's all broken down, demolished, that's when the new can grow.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the chaos is not a lot of fun, but it's quite necessary.
Extremely, yes.
Yes.
Extremely.
So people, angels, those of you who are experiencing a bit of chaos in your lives, bless you. Hang in there. There is a beautiful other side to all of the chaos, but we have to walk through it. We're going to walk through it as a people together.
Mm-hmm.
And the virus is bringing us together. Even though we're keeping our social distance, it's pulling everyone kind of out of their houses onto balconies in the streets, saying hi, walking their dogs, doing that. It is a beautiful thing. It's bringing the people together. And solidarity is what needs to happen. Unity is what needs to happen, and how we will get through this chaos together.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we love you all.
Definitely. Love you all.